So it is common for students to look at a problem like this one and just be like, you know what, I'll lose the points for this problem. But the truth is, I mean, you got to be a little patient. And if you can remember that really what we're going to do is break this up into smaller, more manageable parts, then it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't become that bad. So, of course, the first part that we're going to look at is distribution. And there's two sets of parentheses, which means we have two sets of distribution. That set of parentheses and this one. And distribution is multiplication. Now, common mistake, which we've seen already, is where students distribute this and they're like, well, that's 6 times x, which is, it's fair enough, that's 6x, and then they'll say, well, there's the minus sign. It's not that it's 6x, it's negative 6x, because we're distributing this negative 6. The minus sign makes the 6 a negative, which means over here, and this is where the mistake really occurs, is students would do 6 times 6 to get 36, but again, it should be a negative 6 times positive 6, which is negative 36. Why is this 6 positive? Because of the plus sign. Well, that brings us to the next set of distribution. So that would be, again, multiplication. I'll even show the phantom 1 right there. So that would be 2 times 1x's, which would end up being 2x's. And then the next distribution or multiplication is going to be 2 times 1, which is going to be positive 2. Okay, that is all the distribution that I see, so everything else just drops, right? I got 8 minus 6x minus 36 plus 5x equals 6. That 2x was positive, so I'll show the plus sign, plus 2 minus 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 terms. But the good news is, with those 8 terms, now that we have all the distribution complete, we will look to combine like terms. So again, it is large. It's 8 terms. But we're going to only focus on as many terms as we need to at a time to combine like terms. Such as, just to start out, I'm going to start on the left. I like to go from left to right. Not that you have to. But I would show 8 and negative 36. So that's going to be 8 minus, I would show 8 minus 36. I'm subtracting more than I have, so I know I'm going to end up with a negative. Then I would take the big number and subtract the small number. So 6 minus 16 minus 8 would be 8. And then drop the 2, so that's going to be negative 28. That's how negative it became. But in addition to that, we also have these x's that we can combine as well. So how many x's is that? That's negative 6 plus 5. So they are opposite signs. There's more negatives than positives, so I'm expecting an answer that is a negative. Then I can just do 6 minus 5, which is 1. So it's a negative 1x right there. That's all the combining like terms that I can do on the left. There were 4 terms, 2 different types of terms, so we end up with 2 different types of terms on the left side as well. On the right side, we have 3 constants, and that's okay. I've got a 6 plus 2 minus 3. So I would do 6 plus 2, which is 8, and then minus 3, which is 5. And then the positive 2x, it just drops. I mean, that is quite a bit of work right there. But again, if you focus on one part at a time, combining your constants, combining your x's, then we combine constants, and then we just drop the 2x's, then it's going pretty well. The problem here, and this is new for us, is I have x's on both sides of the equal sign, which is new. I also have constants on both sides of the equal sign, and that's okay too. But we did all the distribution and we did all the combining like terms, which means we're at the point where we need principles of equality. At this point, what I like to do is to decide which side I want my x's on and which side I want my constants on. I am going to choose to put the x's on the left, and then I will put all the constants and numbers on the right. So I put the x there and then the number sign there, not hashtag, that's different. My generation, that was a number sign. But negative 28. Okay, so I'm going to go through all the terms and see if they're on the correct side. If they are not on the correct side, then I will zero it out. Okay, so I start with negative 28. Okay, so I got the dividing line here, not for division, but to separate. Negative 28 is on the x side of the line. It doesn't have an x, so it can't be there, meaning that I need to zero it out. So I'm going to add 28 there, and I know that will zero out. But on the right side, I'm going to have to add 28. Here's what you wouldn't want to do is put the plus 28 right here, because then it looks like you're going to combine it with the x term. So we purposely look at that plus 28, and we add it to the other constant, the 5. All right, now again, working from left to right, negative 28 plus 28 is 0. I can then drop my negative 1x, which is going to equal, that's going to be 5 plus 28. 5 plus 8 is 13, carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. So I got 33 there, and then I got the positive 2x, which I drop again. Okay, now I still got x's on the left, numbers on the right, but my x, the negative 1x, that's okay. It's on the x side. So I don't need to do anything with that. It doesn't need to be zeroed out. Going further to the right, 33 is on the number side because I crossed the equal sign. So 33 is on the number side. It's okay as well. So I'm going to leave that alone. But the 2x has an x, but it's on the number side. It's on the wrong side. Since it is on the wrong side, that means that I do need to zero it out. Well, can we zero out x's? As it turns out, we can. Simply by taking the 2 x's and subtracting 2 more x's. Like this. Just take something and add its opposite or subtract it from itself. And you will zero that out, but if I do it to one side, I must do it to the other side as well. All right, so from left to right, let's see what happens here. I got x's. That's negative 1 minus 2. So it's going to become more negative. And then I do 1 plus 2. And that's how negative it is. 3. Negative 3 x's. I've got the 33 here on the other side, which I do need to drop. And then the 2x, what do you know? They zeroed out, just as we had planned. So everything has gone according to plan. We've distributed. We've combined like terms. And you got to be careful. Again, I'm going to go back to the distribution part right here. But if you did not distribute a negative 6, you would have gotten plus 36, which is going to jack the whole thing up, which we don't want to do. So we did the combining like terms. We made a 0. We made another 0. Now we're ready pretty much for the final step, which is to make that coefficient of x a phantom 1. 1x. Well, I'm getting not a phantom 1, just a regular 1. You could make it a phantom 1. Okay, so it's a negative 3x. How do I make it a 1? Just divide it by itself, negative 3. If you do it to one side, you must do it to the other side. There's my 1x. 33 divided by negative 3, positive divided by negative is going to make a negative. 33 divided by 3 is 11. Negative 11 should do it. Okay, so that's what we got. I'm going to go back to the top and just kind of double check the work. Not just the work, but I'm going to check in the equation. So at the top, I'd say this is this right here, negative 11 plus 6. That'd be negative 5 times the negative 6 there. That'd be a positive 30 plus the 8 would be 38. And then that'd be a minus 55. 38 minus 55, negative 17. Of course, I'm skipping some work there, but then we got negative 11 plus 1 is negative 10. Times 2 is negative 20. I'll write that in. So 6 minus 20 would be negative 14. Minus 3 is negative 17. So that is true. Since it is true, we did find the solution.